Hello, there was a request that I give you a little bit further instruction about your developmental object assignment that is due. So I'm going to go into the Dropbox. It's due April 16. There's a paper in there. Looks like I've already read it and graded it since it says there's no unread files. I'm going to go into where the instructions are, which is, this is how I open it up. Might be different for you. I'm going to talk through it and then I'm just going to put it up for you to look at, and you can watch this video and get a better idea of what you need to do in order to get the highest possible grade on this. Let's see, the universal rubric is under course content. I can look at that with you in a minute after we finish this. So here's a video. The clip is here. It should play fine. It's just it's a baby. I don't know the baby. I don't know how old the baby is exactly. This is kind of a class in developmental, so you have to use some developmental, clues in order to get a range. But what you're doing here is that you're trying to watch this video and then have a paragraph with this as a subhead. So I would put social development and I would make that bold and maybe underline it. And underneath I would say, social development milestones around the age of, just say around the age of 1 year, 1 year of age include, and you can go in there and you can look in your textbook and you can come up with some theories or research or descriptors that you can paraphrase in your own words. Feel free to quote from the textbook, that's fine. Just use APA style, and I think I can show you where to find that if you don't know how. We're not going to do really a deep APA formatting, but you should be able to do your quotations and putting the information of what page and your reference at the end of the paper using APA. And then you're going to go through each of these and you're just going to describe each one. Emotional developmental milestones at the age around the age of 1 include, and then go through. Same thing with cognitive, so you maybe going to have some Piaget here. Family development, so you might look at what family dynamics are. And generally family development at that time around an infant is helping the baby to regulate their eating, the transition maybe from liquid diet to having a few solid, very easy to digest solid foods. Gender development. Gender development, you might not say this baby per se is exhibiting gender. I think there is a lot to say about gender in regard to the relationship between the dad and the little boy. I think this is, for example, the play that they're exhibiting is a little bit different than what a mother and a child or an infant typically do. And you can look at the literature and you can Google and find out, how mothers and fathers play differently with babies. Physical development. So should this baby be able to sit, crawl? What are you able to do about the age of 1? So I do have the APA formatting here, so you can look at this link and open that up and find out how to do your formatting for the paper. As far as going for a grade of A, what you need to do is to come into the rubric of excellence, and you can click on this. What this rubric talks about is how you distinguish yourself from just doing what it says. So too many students that get B's wonder why they don't have A's, and they're wondering because they always say, and I understand this, I'm sure I did the same thing, say I did exactly as you asked me to do. But if you're a professor and you're looking at college work, you are actually evaluating and trying to find key characteristics of the absolute best college level work to give your A's to. So if it is your intention to get an A, what are you going to do to demonstrate to me your ability to process and comprehend a complex idea? Well, you have to state a complex idea. You just can't describe what happens and say this is an example of emotional development. That would be too simple, I think, and not complex. Can you talk about these complex ideas in a clear and intelligent manner? That probably means explaining your idea, giving an example of your idea, explaining how your example is a good idea, really developing your thoughts. You have to move beyond the simple requirements, and you've excelled in your preparation and presentation of your assigned work. So in other words, um, your language, your grammar is in good shape. There might be mistakes here and there. That's not what characterizes the entire grade or brings down a whole grade. But you need to attend to high level language, clarity of thought. You have to use paragraphs. Your punctuation has to be in pretty good form in order to demonstrate that you have excelled beyond. What is excelling beyond normal punctuation? I don't think to put in a lot of exclamation points, but you might think, how can I do that? Well, I got to make sure my paragraph's going to look good. I have to make sure that my subheads look good. And the ability to contextualize material. That would be giving your examples, maybe extrapolating outside of the course, maybe talking about something that's been in the news lately. I mean, I'm looking for students that are able to build their argument as deeply as possible to get in this A range. B grades, nothing wrong with B's. There's really nothing wrong with C's. Not everybody is going to get A's and B's across the board in everything in college. However, the minimum requirements in being adequate generally have to do with doing kind of what is asked, but nothing in detail is how I kind of see that. All right, thanks for your attention to this paper. It is coming up soon. I'll see you on Tuesday. I can always say that, and it always works, no matter when you watch this. All right, thanks. Take care. Bye.